we found in the Torah two human activists. One is Yosef, and another one was the Shotrim in Mitzrayim. Yosef, although he gets the right to buy as slaves all the Mitzrim, all the Egyptians, he tells them, no, I'll buy your land, and you're going to be free men, and you're going to work the land for yourself. Just pay me taxes. We also find the Shotrim in Mitzrayim. Shotrim were Jewish soldiers that the Egyptians appointed to beat up their brothers so they make sure that they work hard. But it says in the Pasuk, Vayuku shotrei bnei Israel, Rashi tells us that those Shotrim, those policemen, they used to be beaten up because they didn't make sure that the Jewish people are bringing the quota. And therefore, later on, we found that HaKadosh Baruch Hu appoints them as the Zkenim. And he says to Moshe Rabbeinu in Parashat Ba'alotcha, Ve'omer Hashem el Moshe, Esfa li 70 ish miziknei Israel. Those elderly people, says Rashi, since they were beaten up, now appoint them to become the leaders of Am Yisrael. We see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu rewarded them correctly. But what happened with Yosef? Yosef was looking out for those Mitzrim. How did they pay him back? Afterwards, in Parashat Shemot, they putting his family as slaves. The Jewish people becoming slaves. And it's so much that the Goyim were all rejoicing, and that's why when they got punished, it says in the Pasuk, V'Adonai hika kol bechor be'eretz Mitzrayim, mi bechor paro yoshev al kiso ad bechor hashevi. Even those that are in jail, Rashi says, were rejoicing to see Am Yisrael suffering. Ayu smechim le'idam shel Yisrael. It's an unbelievable thing. Usually people in jail has complaints against the government. They're always angry at the government. But over here, not only they were angry, but they still were happy with what goes on to Am Yisrael. They didn't care that Paro jailed them. But as long as Am Yisrael are suffering, that's fine with them. So we see that the payback that the Mitzrim gave to Yosef, to Am Yisrael, was exactly the opposite of what Yosef has done to them. He could have taken them as slaves, and later on Am Yisrael is being enslaved by them. But when Am Yisrael works, they work very differently. When Am Yisrael are being appointed as Shotrim, what happens over there? Over there we found that they go out of their way to be beaten up and not to cause their brothers to work very hard. This is the difference with Umot HaOlam that always prosecuting Am Yisrael. As we see in this parasha with Shechem. What happens with Shechem? Over there, when they violated Dinah, the brothers come and make all those in Shechem Jewish. Why did they do that? In order to kill them, they could have made them drunk. Let's have a party together and then kill them. The Perush usually that's being given to that is that if you leave them non-Jews, the whole world is going to scream if you kill them. Oh, the Jews are causing homicide over here. The Jews are children and kids killers. All the beautiful people like the BDS and the Jewish Voice for Peace will scream out. And therefore, the brothers knew, first you make Shechem Jewish, you make them a Brit Milah, and then the whole world will become quiet. When they are Jewish, the whole world is quiet. Over here you learn the hypocrisy of the world and also some of the Jewish people that learn from the world, like those Jewish Voice for Peace that are activists against our Jewish brothers and not like those Shotrim that we learned that went out of their way to save their brothers.